Está con nosotros Nicolas Forest, jefe global de Renta Fija en Candriam. Good morning. Nice to meet you, Nicolas.
Good morning.
What's your first reaction about European Central Bank meeting that we lived yesterday?
Well, so as you know, the ECB yesterday decided to slow the pace of its PEPP purchase program. So it's not a big event, it's just a small adjustment about the quantitative easing program decided by the ECB. Not a big event, but just the beginning of the end of this program. And you know that this is a program deciding after the coronavirus crisis. So the ECB decided to deploy this program with a significant amount of purchase per month. And now they are just decided to recalibrate, so it's a recalibration of this program. So not a big event, but a small adjustment.
Do you think ECB is in the right decision?
Well, of course, I am not an ECB policymaker, but yes, makes sense. You know, after now the strong rebound of the economy, we see higher growth in Europe, higher inflation. So does it make sense to keep this amount? Well, it's not completely absurd to just decrease. So from 80 billion per month, I think the ECB will go to 70 billion. But clearly the most important is the next step. The next step is for the December meeting. But it makes sense. And you know, we are observing the same thing everywhere, in fact. You know, the Fed about the tapering. And when you look at the other central banks now, everybody is in a new step just to stop this program and this extra liquidity and strong quantitative easing.
Consider that the start of the reduction program could be effective?
The program, so well, I think that we are expecting the end of the PEPP by March 2022. But the point is, we believe that there is another program, which is the APP. And potentially, we expect that the ECB will decide to increase the APP or just to have another program just to smooth and to have a smooth transition. So clearly in 2022, we continue to expect that the ECB will be here to buy bonds because the idea is to keep favorable financial conditions. So this is not the end of the QE, but just the beginning of a small tightening.
What's your point of view about the inflation when you see yesterday that 2.2% is this inflation forecast for the ECB? What do you think about inflation now with all this picture?
That's a very good question, and that's for me the most important issue for the markets in the coming months. So yesterday, the ECB has also provided inflation expectations for 2022 and 2023. And what is the main message? The message is for 2023, the ECB expects just 1.5%, 1.5, so significantly below the 2% threshold. So what is the main message of the ECB? The main message is inflation is temporary. They are expecting that this strong inflation is not sustainable. That's exactly the same message than the Fed. So now for me, what is important to know is, do we believe that the market will continue to agree with central banks? Because today the market clearly agree with central banks and believes that the inflation is temporary. But for me, the bigger question and the most important issue for 2022 is to know if inflation will be transitory. But today, clearly, when we look at the market and when we look at the central banks, we can reasonably expect lower inflation by end of 2022. But clearly, this is the biggest and a big issue for the bond and for equity investors.
Nicolas Forest, jefe global de Renta Fija en Candriam. Muchísimas gracias. Thank you very much.
Gracias.
Have a nice day. Good business.